Today, what we're going to do is to try and work with my willow plant. I ordered some containers from Amazon. They come with their matching drip saucers. I think I am going to go with not the smallest one, but this next biggest one. Let me see. I'm not going to go with the smallest one, even though that matches more the size of the container. I know it's probably going to fill up with roots quickly. So this is the one I'm going to go with. But you can see that the willow has a nice little branch. Let me get it against the lampshade. It's got that. Yep, there's one coming out that. This is on the same branch. It just forks right down here. Then also underwater is growing a little tiny branch coming out. So I've got that challenge. Now the other two tiny sticks, they're not doing anything. So I'm going to discard those. Now this whole thing that I'm doing, I don't expect a willow tree to grow inside my house. I just want something to play with during the winter months. That'll be fun, and I can see how it grows. And since we have a see-through container, I can watch it and see what it does. Maybe in the spring I'll try to quote-unquote bonsai it. I don't know if I'm really degrading that word by attempting what I would attempt in butchering this tree, but it's going to be fun, and I'll learn before I start on some kind of an evergreen. But let's see what we can do. Okay, put these all back together, put these all back inside each other, and separated out the one I'll need. So I'm all ready to get started. I do have my soil here. I'm using the bonsai tree soil that I have because it really has a lot of nutrient denseness in it. And I'm using systemic granules in this one because I have heard them say that willows are very susceptible to bug damage and borers, everything. So I want to start out with it in the soil. So let's do it. Okay, I've got my container all ready. And of course, I'm gonna fold up one of my coffee filters to keep the soil from running out those holes in there. So I just kind of improvise a smaller circle. I should have secured it a little better, but that's the way it goes. I've got my soil up here and ready, and I'll just use one of my scoops to fill it just about half full, just enough so that I know I can kind of steady and solidify that soil, but then be able to see where I'm spreading out the roots in there. And it's at this point, at that halfway mark, I'm going to put the systemic granules. I'm going to go ahead and put the granules in here. Based on that pot being about a quart, I'm only going to put about a tablespoon in. And that should take care of this particular plant, at least for the first 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, now, and I am going to take this out of its container. Now, these are the ones that did not grow. They look like they might have the beginnings of some roots. I possibly will stick these in the side, but I don't know if they have anything in the rest. I may just as an additional backup. And since they've tried so hard, go ahead and put them in. But I'll just sneak those kind of down the side and see what happens. Let me face him outward so those branches won't get in the way. Now this one, do I see anything on him? I don't think I see any little white marks on him at all. Sorry, let me shield him from the light shining on him. I think I'll just discard him. But then this main big one, you can see how much the roots have grown since the last time I showed it in a video, and it's high time I get this in soil. So here goes. I'm gonna pull him through. Look at that. Tons of root growth and lots of more potential roots. Now, as it ends up, this little branch will be under the soil because I'm burying this very, very deeply, because that's just how I intend it to be. If I am going to hope that these roots spread out all over the place, I want them to climb and be coming out, way up here too. So I am going to put the soil in there. Let me reach down here and get the soil. Now I've got a different angle here so we can see those roots that I'm going to spread around. You can see all the little fine hairs that are trying to grow out of those. Now the way I understand, those fine root hairs grow differently in the water, because basically the root hairs are what seek out water in the soil. When they're in water, they don't have to seek it out. So it takes them a little adjustment period once you put them into soil in order for them to learn how to go seek it through the soil. So that's what we're going to have to hope it survives, that seeking out. So let me put the soil in it. And again, I am bringing it up over the little plant down in there. I guess I should pinch it off. I think I'm going to. Did that. So he's gone, and now let's put soil in the top. Hopefully I won't make too much of a mess. Too late. You can see this has got a pretty rich mixture, so I think it's going to do well. This probably wouldn't do very well for an aged bonsai, since it would be so rich and full of all this, I don't know, mulchy, wet bark stuff. But right now, I'm hoping it'll do well for this. Let me kind of get it packed in a little so it'll hold up. There. Now let me get a little bit more. There we go. I think that should do. That gets it really up around. And then this guy, he was my little branch who's not really developed roots yet, but I want him right down the side so that I can see him real easily. Now let's look at how that looks. Don't look at this mess I've made here on the table. Gotta clean that up. Okay, now there it is. There's the little twig with no real roots, and then here's the branch that's coming out. Now, I'm afraid that it might lose that leaf that it has up there while it makes an adjustment. But again, that's my experiment. I just want to see how it behaves and what it does. So here we go. Let me put his little saucer over here. I've just got one, right? Yeah, I think I've just got one. No, I've got two. Put him in his saucer. And then I'm going to use the old Willow water that I had him rooting in, just in case those compounds are in there that would help him to reroot. So here goes. Looks good. I can see it settled down just a little bit. And there we go. What's it look like on this side where I stuck that branch? Let's see if I can get it down there. I don't know if we can see that in there. No, it's got too much of a reflection on me. But anyway, that's where I've got the branch stuck. And I think I might do some trimming. So let me do that. I'm going to, let's see. Okay, let's see what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this branch, since he's still so tiny, even though he is alive, I'm just gonna cut him right there. Oops. And right here. There. So that makes that little twig just that shape. Hopefully you can see that okay. And my tall main big branch, let me see if I can press him in just a little bit more. That looks good. I think I'm going to take that little extra off. There. Now those are very, very long here at the top, but since it's got a twig trying to grow, I'll leave that in there. So there is my new little willow tree. And we'll see what happens to it. Now, according to the information I've read, don't know anything about it, and if you're some kind of a willow tree expert, as I understand, when you do bonsai, when you trim the limbs, it gradually makes the leaves of the tree grow smaller, but that's not the case in a willow. The willow leaves will always stay big. So if that's true or not, and you know, let me know. But I'm gonna have fun with this, and hopefully that treatment I gave it will not allow it to pass on any bugs. But we can see that we've got, what is it, 2, 3, 4, yeah, we've got several leaves coming out there. And this one just has a tiny, tiny amount right now. Yeah, just a little bitty branch, but we'll see what happens. Maybe a few more nubs will try to grow. We'll see. We're gonna put him, find him a spot in the sun over here and see what can happen with my willow tree. And we'll watch the roots progress through that clear dish. And if you'd like to have a clear dish so you can observe your roots, I'll put a link down in the description for these pots that I bought. All different sizes, tiny, small, medium, and large, but they'll make good cache pots. so that I can put them down in a prettier thing. If I had something around here within reach, I'd show you. But meanwhile, let's put this over onto the windowsill. Okay, we're gonna put her right here. She's right near the sun out that window. That is, let me think a minute, south. That's a south window. And there's supplemental light up here. That's what we're gonna do with my Willow. And that's what she looks like. She's looking good. So let's see if she starts to droop as she tries to adjust to the soil. And I'll keep you updated as much as I can. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.